On today's show, meet a teacher who wants to get every elementary school student outdoors. Her actions speak more loudly than words.
In our forest, you can learn about a lot of things.
We take a walk in the park at a perfect winter destination.
Let's get ready to fish!
And meet a Minnesota mayor who hopes to help his community get hooked on fishing.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hey everybody, Laura and I welcome you to Minnesota Bound.
Up first, we head to Eden Prairie, where one teacher hopes her students might learn in the ultimate classroom.
You know, the outdoors. Students never really seem to pout when bundling up for recess. Can't blame them at Cedar Ridge. Gearing up to get outside might be a school day highlight.
You went out without your snow pants last time?
And also the norm for kids in Jen Heyer's kindergarten class.
Can you walk and get in line, please?
This is a story about kids. And specifically, how they learn one day each week.
Wilderness Wednesday.
I have taught in Eden Prairie. This is my 19th year, and it is my 15th year at Cedar Ridge. And Wilderness Wednesdays is a program that I started about 5 years ago, where we spend one day a week outside, both the morning and the afternoon.
We're having explore time outside.
Jen Heyer had an idea.
So think about last week we were out here.
To show kids a different kind of classroom.
I just was seeing different needs with the kids. I fell upon forest kindergartens in Europe and thought, oh, these are so amazing.
So 5 years ago, she started taking her students outdoors every Wednesday.
Our very first lesson is I make a mud puddle, smear mud on my face, and the kids all go crazy, like, why are you doing that? And it's a barrier that they then take down, because then the kids will say, my mom will not let me do this. And then I whisper, your mom's not here.
On this day, the kids circle up to learn about tracking animals.
Can you track an animal with scat? Yeah, you can. You can use the scat. And we're so grown up that we can say scat and not even laugh.
Cats don't leave any claws.
Yeah, cats usually don't have claws in their tracks. So Lydia and Zoe, go each get a clipboard. You each need one, please.
They move to the nearby woods to study its stations.
I think that's a goose track. Oh, I got it right. In our forest, you can learn about a lot of things about the wilderness. What we were doing today for the tracks is we were going on a hunt for the tracks. A fox.
I know what fur it is. Did you lose it off your hat?
No.
What animal do you think it is?
I think it was the squirrel. Today we had to find 12 animal tracks and guess which animal they were.
Don't forget, tracking comes in handy more than you might think.
Ah, Charlie!
See what I mean?
Madison did some extra finding in the forest today. What do you say?
Thank you, Madison.
I love this. Like, those kids that really have some difficulties learning in the classroom, they have zero difficulties learning outside. Here we go, starting!
Every Wilderness Wednesday starts like this. Dozens of completely quiet kids sit in their own space in the outdoors.
One of the ideas that came out were sit spots, just to have those moments to be mindful in nature. It'll never work in kindergarten. Like, how are we gonna get 40 kids to be quiet in nature? Like, how are we gonna get them just to sit down and stay where they are? We do it and they come back and they have such great observations from it.
Including more highly engaged students.
In an elementary school, we always have energy, but I would say, yes, there is an energy and enthusiasm.
So much so, educators could not help but notice Jen's work.
I had the opportunity to go out to Washington, D.C., and I was presented with the Environmental Protection Agency's Presidential Innovation Award for Environmental Educators.
Minnesota awarded higher as well.
She also encourages her students and parents to explore the wilderness on the weekends with their families.
The great thing about these awards is that it just brings more attention to bringing kids outside.
And the most fun part that I like to do is we like to find new stuff.
All of this with just one catch.
I am not an outdoor person.
Doesn't matter. Hire's life plan to ensure all of her students, well, you can see.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Rapala, Star Bank, and by Ice Castle Fish Houses.
Up next, it's time to take a walk in the park. We're headed to a very wintry Cooke State Park.
The park is just under 9,000 acres or 14 square miles. So it's pretty large, 55 miles of hiking trails or skiing, whatever you want to be doing. I'm Christine Hiller, and I'm the park naturalist for Cooke State Park. Well, I love Cooke any day of the year, frankly, but in the wintertime, a lot quieter in our state parks. Here at the park, we have people that want to come hiking, snowshoeing, mountain biking, or cross-country skiing. Some people just come in and sit by the fireplace. You know, there's a lot of different things to do to just make winter go a little bit faster, so to speak, when you're doing something in it. I'm a snowshoer, so I like snowshoeing or walking. You know, what I like is in the summertime, you know, you stay on the trail, and the woods kind of looks a little bit scary. You know, like, well, I don't want to go wander off there because what if I get lost? Well, when you're on snowshoes, you make your own trail. So you can go off into the woods, you can follow those animal tracks, you know, go off and explore and know that you're coming back to some place. Because if you get turned around, you can always just follow your tracks back, right? We're down at our famous swinging bridge. This is swinging bridge number 5. We've had a couple of floods that have damaged it. The last one was in 2012, and so they rebuilt it, put it back together, and we got the bridge we have today. Everybody comes to stop at the swinging bridge, and they don't necessarily realize there's other places in the park to stop. So 1 more mile down the road from the swinging bridge is our other picnic area, which we call Oldenburg Point. And there's 2 nice overlooks there where you see the panoramic views of the river valley. Here at the bridge, you see that up-close river view. But there you can get the wide expanse of all 9,000 acres. So it's a nice view, different perspective. We're a very busy park, and we have about 400,000 visitors a year, and a lot of them do come during the summer and the fall time. So if you're trying to get away from the crowds, it's still beautiful to visit, but it's a lot quieter. You know, you can actually hear the river as it's flowing underneath the ice, and you're hearing the chickadees call. It's not a bunch of people, you know, shouting and driving by and all that. So if you're trying to experience more of the quiet of nature, wintertime is a great time to visit.
Did you know that Minnesota has 66 state parks? Head to our Facebook page where we share our favorite places to discover during the winter.
Still ahead, one family comes up with the perfect Minnesota ice fishing rig. But first, meet a mayor who hopes his community might embrace fishing, and he wants to help make it happen.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Cass Lake Chain of Resorts.
Up next, Travis Frank introduces you to a mayor with a slightly new job responsibility. He wants to introduce his community to the sport of ice fishing.
That's got to be our fish. Look at you, right on time.
Most fishermen hit the ice to catch fish.
Amazing, look at that.
Ryan Karasek, on the other hand, came here to release them.
Oh, there's one of them rainbows. You kidding me? I think we're gonna dump them all in right over here. This hole is to make people happy is what this hole is for. That was a little bit of work.
Ryan's no stranger to hard work. After all, it took plenty to make this trout release possible.
And this has been something I've been hoping for a number of years. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? I mean, that's incredible. There's some beautiful fish in there.
We are here to address the City Council under open forum.
Ryan Karasek is the mayor of Champlin, Minnesota, a city with more than 20,000 residents just north of Minneapolis.
City Hall is closed on Monday.
He's gone above regular mayor duties to bring his community members a new fishing opportunity. On a bitter cold winter day, Ryan and a group of volunteers prepare the ice for eager anglers.
They did 600 holes. I didn't stop until I got to 600. Today what we're doing is we're having our very first ever Champlin Trout Ice Fishing Contest. Welcome, gentlemen. You coming to catch fish? Nobody's ever fished in there before. We have no idea where these fish are going to be. I just hope everybody catches. I hope everybody catches a lot of fish.
A sold-out crowd proves that if you build it, they will come.
Of the 350 people we have registered, there's over 100 children fishing in it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first ever Champlin Trout Ice Fishing Contest. Are you excited to be here? Let's get ready to fish! Go! Want you to know we got the first fish caught, and it's a 24-inch rainbow.
This has been the mayor's dream, the mayor's project. It's a great community event. That's what it's about, getting everybody out.
A great community event taking place on a community pond created by urban sprawl.
So this used to be a cornfield and a bean field about 6-7 years ago.
Construction workers created this pond by removing 300,000 cubic yards of dirt used to build the surrounding neighborhoods. Ryan immediately saw the potential left by the gaping hole.
I actually started off years ago paying for the fish myself.
Soon after, the Champlin Community Foundation joined his fishing mission.
We now have a high-quality trout water within the city of Champlin. Right now we've stocked approximately 1,000 to 1,200 fish.
Look at that! It's great to have all the adults here, but really for me, the excitement that I have is for all the kids. I want to see the kids have a good time so they can create memories and create excitement for the future so they become fishermen for the rest of their lives. As you can see today, everybody's out here walking around, they're talking, they're strategizing how they're catching fish. They're building bonds with one another, and I think that's really important in a community.
building a community bond through fishing, a far-fetched dream that's now a reality.
This is one of the things that I am most proud of, that I was able to play a key role in.
Ticket sales from today's contest will keep this pond stocked for years to come. A win for the community, now paid for by happy ice anglers, thanks to a bright idea from an ambitious Minnesota mayor.
Did you guys have fun?
Straight ahead, the story behind these unique fishing rods. They're just perfect for Minnesota winter fun.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Treasure Island Resort and Casino, Hewitt Docks Lifts and Pontoon Lakes, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Up next, a tale about our two favorite winter sports.
Yeah, you know, this time of year you can play hockey on ice. You can also go ice fishing.
My dad, Ron Shera, discovers what happens when you combine the two.
Minnesota is the state of hockey for sure, but truth be told, Minnesota is also the state of, watch your bobbers, boys and girls, ice fishing.
Hey! That's a hum. Nothing will get kids fishing like actually continuing to catch stuff.
I caught 7 fish.
Yeah, you did. Nice work.
Oddly enough, catching fish or slapping a puck on the ice gave Dave Tarnowski an odd idea.
This is a Mike Fisher, and that was an Aaron Johnson. That's actually one of the first sticks I ever got. I'm a custom fishing rod builder. What I'm doing is I'm making ice rods using game-used or game-broken hockey sticks as the handles. It's a nice blend of both the hockey tradition in Minnesota and also ice fishing. So it's really kind of a uniquely Minnesota type thing.
So what's the goal here?
I really started getting into hockey when my younger son decided that he wanted to become a hockey player for a little while. And he broke his first stick, and I thought, wow, I bet you I could probably do something with that.
Save a stick, make a fishing rod.
They are kind of novel because I'm really the only one in the world doing it.
He makes 3 different rod tip actions, ranging from light panfish to a stiff walleye jig and tip.
You might notice is that there is no reel seat on these. The reel seat is not something that's very easy to incorporate into a hockey stick. So you just kind of strap whatever reel you want on using electrical tape, and off you go.
Tarnowski also chooses his hockey sticks with care.
I try to go mainly for players with a Minnesota connection, and I've got some from some fairly high-profile players. I've got a couple of old Crosbys. I've got an old Prairie in here somewhere. What you're looking at is an ice rod for perch and panfish. It uses the handle of a Nate Prosser stick. It was donated to me by the Minnesota Wild Foundation for one of their fundraisers last year. What I did was I used an extra section of it and created an ice rod out of it. It uses, of course, a Minnesota Wild player and then Minnesota Wild themed colors. So there's the red, green, and white.
Not that Tarnowski thinks busted big-time fishing sticks can make a fella rich.
It's a side business. Very few rod builders actually make a living off of just building rods. It's a hobby that pays for itself, and it's a small business. It's been fun. I've learned a lot about it. So this has been a real adventure, is discovering how sticks can become available, because game-used hockey sticks are not always cheap. It's almost like an underground market of hockey sticks. So if you've got a stick from a player that's broken a stick and you want to memorialize it, I could always turn it into an ice fishing rod or a soft water rod.
Dave's unusual business extends to the business name as well.
So it's Elysium Rods, which is kind of the afterlife for the Greek heroes.
Perfect. Afterlife for old hockey sticks. Sticks with a fish on the end of the line.
Yeah!
He scored!
It's huge, see?
Okay, so I know your dad can fish, but Does he know how to skate and play hockey?
I think it's been quite a few years since he's put on a pair of skates, so I'm gonna guess not so much.
Well, that about does it for us. We will see you back here next week.
In the meantime, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433.